Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning into this one. This is the Championship preview and predictions. So many good fixtures this weekend as always, and I am delighted to say I am really looking forward to this one. So let's get straight into it. The first game as always is the Friday night kickoff, and that is between Aston Villa and Bolton. Aston Villa at home, they have been pretty solid. Just one defeat in their home form so far this season. 3 wins, 3 draws, and just that one defeat. I think that was to Sheffield Wednesday. Away from home, Bolton have won 2, drawn 3, lost 2, which isn't the worst, it isn't the best. But these two, they probably both need the points, if I'm being honest. Aston Villa, they got their first win under Dean Smith in their first game, a 1-0 win over Swansea. But since then, 2 defeats in a row to Norwich and QPR. And 2 games they probably should have got at least a point out of. So just 4 points picked up in their last 5 games for Villa. Bolton, they're even on a worse run of form. 1 point in their last 5 games. They have shot down the table since a really good start where they picked up 10 points out of their first 12. And since then, they have just totally fallen apart under Phil Parkinson. Aston Villa are currently 17th in the table. 4 wins, 6 draws, 5 defeats. Bolton, 4 wins, 4 draws and 7 defeats. 20 goals conceded, just 11 scored, 16 points. I really do fear for Bolton this season. They have just totally fallen apart after the first couple of weeks of the season. I can only see one result here, and that's an Aston Villa win. I'm going to go 2-0 to Villa. And then we have a whole bunch of fixtures as usual at 3 o'clock on Saturday. There is no 12:30 game this week. And the first game is Blackburn versus QPR. Blackburn, their form has been pretty average. They're currently in 12th place. They're sitting exactly mid-table, 22 points, 5 wins, 7 draws, 3 defeats. 7 points picked up in their last 15 points played. 2 wins, 1 draw. Wins against Bolton and Leeds, and then a draw against West Brom. So a good win against Leeds and West Brom. Both teams are in the top 6. QPR, as everybody knows, their form has been absolutely unbelievable. 4 wins, 1 draw in their last 5 games. They are flying. And I don't see any reason why this would stop. QPR could go into the playoffs if results really went their way. So I'm going to go a 2-1 win to QPR. So Blackburn's home form, it isn't the best. 2 wins, 4 draws, 1 defeat. But QPR's form, away from home, 3 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats. So pretty average as well. Next, we have Brentford versus Millwall in a London clash here. Brentford, they are yet to pick up a win under their new manager, Thomas Frank. 3 defeats in a row to Bristol City, to Preston, and then to Norwich City. Millwall, they have picked up of late. They beat Ipswich at the weekend. They beat Wigan just before that as well. So since coming back, they've had 1 defeat and then 2 wins. And I feel this one will be really tight. I'm not sure how this one will go, but I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Millwall, they're starting to move away from the bottom, and a point here would be a very good point indeed. Brentford, they need to start turning their form around, or they could start getting involved in the relegation scrap if they are not careful. Next, we have Derby versus Birmingham. Derby put in an amazing effort against Chelsea last night, losing 3-2, hitting the post right at the end through David Nugent. Really unlucky conceding 2 own goals. But they really played well on the counter-attack, and massive credit to Derby. Birmingham, they have improved their form as well. So in the last 5 league games, Derby, they have won 2, drawn 3 and lost none. Draws coming against Middlesbrough, against QPR and against Norwich. 3 teams that are in great form. And then 2 wins against Sheffield United, who are currently top of the league. And that great 4-1 win away at West Brom. So they're really starting to pick up some form. Talking of good form, you have to look no further than Birmingham, who have won their last 4 games in a row. Against Sheffield Wednesday, Reading, Stoke and Rotherham. They are in absolutely fantastic form. Both sides are in the top half. 9th place is where Birmingham sits on 23 points, finally turning those draws into wins. Derby, they are in 6th place with 25 points. I don't think there'll be a lot between this one. I'm going to go 2-2. I think it'll be another draw for Birmingham. If I had to pick a winner, I'd go for Derby, but I feel that they'll be very, very tired after Wednesday. So I'm going to go 2-2 in that one, which would be a very, very good point for both, given their fine form at the moment. Hull City are up next. They entertain high-flying West Brom. West Brom, they struggled since returning from international duty, Wigan defeat and then the Derby defeat, followed by a draw against Blackburn. It's not really happened in the last few games for Darren Moore's side. Hull City, they're in terrible form as well, just one win in the last 5 games. Coming on Saturday against Bolton. Fraser Campbell scoring the only goal there. Currently, West Brom are in 5th place on 25 points, and a win could see them go as high as 2nd. Hull, they are currently in 23rd place and in the relegation zone. I can only see one winner here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to West Brom, and that would see them just put their couple of bad results behind them with a win at Hull. Ipswich and Preston, 2 sides that were really struggling at the start of the season, and one side has now gone on a 5-match unbeaten run, and that is Preston. 3 draws, 2 wins and 0 defeats in their last 5 games. Ipswich just 1 win all season. Ipswich have not picked up a win so far this season at home, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do under Lambert. Preston, they are picking up a lot better results. Their home form isn't too bad. They picked up a really, really good win against Brentford, and they've picked up some draws as well as a win against Wigan, a 4-0 hammering of Wigan as well. Both of those wins were at home. I think Ipswich are going to win this one. I think Paul Lambert will get his first win as manager on his first proper game. I'm going to go 2-1 to Ipswich on that one. Next, we have a great clash at the City Ground, and that is Nottingham Forest entertaining Sheffield United. Sheffield United have lost just once in their last 5 games, a 2-1 defeat at Derby, but a 4-2 win over Wigan and a 1-1 draw with Stoke has seen them go top of the league. Nottingham Forest, their form has been better in their last 5 league games. Just 1 defeat, 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. They're coming against Norwich. However, they did go out of the EFL Cup to Burton, who are in a league below them. I think this one will be tight. I'm going to go 2-1 to Sheffield United, but that one could simply go anyway. There's just no knowing with that one. These games can go right or wrong. There is a game on Sunday as well, so stay tuned for that one. Reading versus Bristol City is our next one. Reading, they're struggling. Just 1 win in their last 5 games. Defeats at Swansea, Birmingham, and then Reading, but also lost to West Brom, and then a 1-0 defeat at home to QPR. The only win coming against Millwall 3-1. Bristol City, they lost their last game, but they won 2. They seem to win in 2s and lose in 2s. But I'm going to go for them to win this one. I think that they'll just have too much for Reading. I'm going to go 1-0 to Bristol City, and that would move them up into the top half of the table. Next, we have Rotherham versus Swansea. Rotherham, their home form hasn't been too bad, and they are unbeaten in their last 3. Just 1 defeat in their last 5 games, which is decent. But as I said on Monday, no wins in that time. Draws against Bristol City, Bolton, Middlesbrough and Preston. I mean, good draws this week. Middlesbrough and Preston, really, really tough places to go, and they did absolutely brilliantly, getting a point each there. Swansea, they have won their last 2 games, 3-1 against Blackburn and 2-0 against Reading. 2 defeats before that to Aston Villa and Ipswich, and then a 0-0 draw with Wigan. I think this one will be a 1-0 win for Rotherham. Their home form seems pretty decent, and Swansea, their results have been iffy, so I'm going to go for a Rotherham win, and that would take them away from the relegation zone for a while. Sheffield Wednesday are next, and they're entertaining Norwich, who have been in fine form as well. They did lose this week against Bournemouth 2-1, but before that, 3 wins in the Championship, beating Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa and Brentford. All 3 sides have had a decent start to the season so far. Sheffield Wednesday, it's a total opposite for them. 3 defeats in a row since returning from the international break. A 2-1 defeat against Middlesbrough, followed by a 3-0 hammering at QPR, and then 3-1 against Birmingham. I'm going to go with the form side here. I'm going to go for Norwich, who could move top of the league if things go their way, to get a 4th win in the row in the Championship. I'm going to go 2-0 to Norwich at Hillsborough. And I really feel that would be an amazing 3 points for Norwich. Stoke versus Middlesbrough next. Stoke, they have started to pick up a few better results. 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in their last 5 games. They're starting to rise in the league. Middlesbrough, just 1 defeat in their last 5 games. A 2-0 defeat against Nottingham Forest. 2 draws as well and 2 wins. Crystal Palace 1-0 in midweek in the AFL Cup, as well as a 2-1 victory over Sheffield Wednesday. And then draws against Derby and Rotherham. I'm going to go with Stoke. They seem to be turning their results around, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Stoke, and that could see them rise right into the top half of the table, which would be very good. Currently sitting 13th place, which would be a very valuable 3 points there. Stoke versus Middlesbrough is the late game, the 5:30 kickoff that is live on the TV. And there is a game as well on the Sunday. So there is a game on Sunday. It is on Sky Sports Football. It's Wigan versus Leeds United. Leeds United, they have had a very good start to the season. But just 1 win in the last 4 games. So they're just starting to dip a little bit. But wins against Hull and Ipswich, as you would expect. Draws against Nottingham Forest and Brentford, and then a defeat to Blackburn. Wigan, their home form has been absolutely brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, 1 draw in the last 5 games. I believe they are undefeated at home, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, home form, 5 wins, 2 draws, 0 defeats. Away from home, Leeds sit top of the table with 3 wins, 3 draws and just 1 defeat coming against Blackburn. Personally, I can only see 1 winner here. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Wigan. I feel that they will get the win against a very good sides in Leeds, but I feel their home form will drag them over. So that is my predictions for that one. There isn't any games in midweek in the Championship either, so they have a full rest ready for next week's action. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.